All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of the ALG podcast. I am your co-host, John Arpino, otherwise known as J. Arp's Journey. Today, I'm joined alongside my partner in crime, David Fit D-Rock Roden. And today, we are joined by a very special guest, a personal friend of both of ours. Today, we have Caleb Nathaniel Blake of the Blake family, otherwise known as Goal Crusher on Instagram. Caleb, what's poppin'?
What's good?
I'm so excited for this because for you guys that don't know, Caleb is one of the moderators within our Discord server because he's a stud muffin.
He is a stud muffin. Look at
like it's been so cool because when we originally invited Caleb and he was one of the first, I don't know, 15, 20 inside the Discord server. I mean, pretty darn quickly you became a pretty solid lighthouse for everyone. When people were having goofy days, you were one of the first ones to put some positive reinforcement into the world. And so in the midst of like the depths of your weight loss. And so I'm freaking excited for this conversation.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, Caleb is definitely a shoulder for a lot of people to lean on in the ALG Discord community. And also, he's probably like one of two people. So it's David and Caleb who actually know how to use the Discord server because I still can't understand how to do it sometimes. So I appreciate all the help that Caleb provides to all of us within the community, and I know that the rest of us appreciate it too. So with that being said, without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to kick this bad boy off the right way. Caleb, why don't you give us just a brief little, overview, kind of set the table for us for your story before we really dive into the meat and potatoes?
I lost 202 pounds in the last year and 6 months.
Wow, he says that's so
Can you please say that so like, you know what? It's kind of cool. I mean, it's nothing that special, but I lost 202 pounds in a year and 6 months.
Yeah.
I lost 202 pounds in a year and 6 months. See, now we're back to the classic.
Oh, baby.
Now we're back to the classic, which is when you sit here and go, it took me 3 years to lose 200, and you did it in a year and 6 months. And so,
yeah, that's not a race. You know that.
This is very true. This is 100% true. But it humbles me again, and this is why I like this. And
I need that real deal Goal Crusher. Like, I need that energy. Can you stand up and give me some energy really quick?
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. I was just telling David about this week and how my whole persona has changed. So I got a lot of energy, obviously, but I don't know. I'm kind of trying to channel it different ways,
right,
and not be too emotional. So I mean, yeah, I can get wild about the 202. I can stand up.
Yeah, stand up, man. I need some of that emotion, man. Give me it.
I don't know, man. I mean, yes, it feels great. I've lost 202 pounds.
In how long?
In about a year and 6 months.
Say that with defiance.
In a year and 6 months, I lost 202 pounds, and anybody can do it. Let me just tell you that. How's
Damn
that?
Right. Hell yeah. So take us back.
So, yeah, I mean, I've been overweight my whole life. I'm 38 years old. It started probably when I was 8 or 9. My entire life, I just got bigger and bigger, and emotionally, I didn't really know how to deal with it in the interior, but on the exterior, I'd say somewhere around 8th grade, I learned how to accept myself.
Right.
Or more, probably 10th grade, honestly.
And what's your definition of accept yourself? What do you mean by that?
Well, at that point, I kind of threw the towel in. I was like, I'm just going to be overweight the rest of my life. There's nothing I can do about this. Let's just be me. Let's just be funny, a funny fat guy. Let me accept it. Let me buy some Big Daddy shirts with big sayings on the back.
Yep, classic.
I'm a big, loving guy. I mean, I got a yearbook right here with the shirt of Big Daddy on. So that was my persona, whatever you want to call it, while I was in high school. And, it was weird. I went from nobody really knowing me or liking me to the most popular kid in my high school, or one of the most. And it was just this weird experience for me because I went from just being the scared fat kid to this accepted fat kid. And then when high school ended, or right around when high school was ending, I actually was telling you about my youth pastor just a little bit ago, David. I was living, hold on, let me close my door. My kids are really loud. Hey guys, I'm on a call. Oh my God.
For those that don't know, Caleb, he has a flock of the cutest kids
flock
that you
of
a
children.
flock of children. He's just
And I
you
just
know,
sit here, and again, it's the classic because like being able to eat clean and eat to fuel your body while having kids, where you don't necessarily have always a uncontrolled house of clean eating. It's
Right.
impressive. It's
No,
impressive.
Caleb definitely gets the job done. I mean, when we see Caleb quite often, he's always active on the community call. So when he's on the call, he's doing his dad life, in the midst of helping, a whole group of people and, throwing out some inspiration for everyone and really being that guy who kind of just shows everyone, you know what, your current situation is whatever, but it's not your final destination, and we're going to get past whatever's going on. And Caleb just kind of makes it all happen at once. I don't know how you do it, bud, but I did want to throw that compliment your way because we did hear your kids, so I know that
Yeah,
your
they're
kids are
wild.
very important to you.
They're wild.
Yeah,
They're
no,
out
they
of
are.
control.
They're a rambunctious bunch.
Yeah, I got 3 of them. I have a 13-year-old, a 9-year-old, and a 5-year-old. And they're my why, along with my wife, obviously, on why I started this whole thing in the first place. But to kind of touch in on what you were saying, so basically, we don't need to talk about my past, I guess, but I lost weight a bunch of times in my life when I was younger, and I couldn't sustain it. And
Well, let's talk about that for a second. Why couldn't you?
I'm
What were you
intrigued by
doing?
that.
All right. Well, which part? The sustaining part or the different times?
Well, kind of take me through, because I mean, listen, you said it before. You how old are you?
Right now, I'm 38.
So you're 38 years old. You've been around the block, a couple more times than me and David. So you definitely have had your experiences with fad diets. You were growing up in the 80s, so there was all sorts of freaking diets back then. I mean,
Yeah.
you name it, they had a diet for it. So what were kind of some of the fun diets that you were doing back then?
There was no fad diet for me. As growing up, my parents never really worried too much about my weight. I kind of ate whatever I wanted. My brothers always made fun of me. They always called me King Tut because growing up, they all had to be like on strict foods and all these things. And by the time my parents had me, I wasn't even supposed to be born. My mom's tubes were cut, tied, like I wasn't supposed to happen. And I was like the little sperm that could.
That's wild.
Yeah,
that's the name of this episode, guys. The little sperm that could. The Caleb Nathaniel Blake story.
So somehow I popped out, and they weren't expecting it. So like I was just the kid that, obviously my parents love me to death. My dad's amazing, my mom's amazing, but the restrictions for me, that's my mom right there. My restrictions for me were just not as bad. I could eat whatever I wanted. So like diet wise, like I just ballooned McDonald's all the time. The Michael Jordan burger, I don't know if you remember that. The McRibs, the double deckers from Del Taco with the Shack versus who was it? King Launch one. So actually, I'm way older than you guys. So you probably don't even know what I'm talking about.
I mean, I know what you're talking about because I'm just like a pop culture kind of fiend, and I love stupid random facts, and I don't know. That's just kind of tickles my fancy. But I've never had Del Taco actually. I've heard.
I would say Taco Bell, didn't
I? Oh no, you said Del Taco.
You said
I meant Taco Bell.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
Okay, because I've heard some good things about Del Taco, but I've never dipped my toe in that pool.
It's all right.
I've had it once or twice. It's all right. Same old.
Everybody out here likes it. I'm a Taco Bell guy.
Yeah, I like Taco Bell.
What so like you went through this sequence of, you said you went through, because everyone's kind of different in this front. For me, my first real hardcore attempt at losing weight, once I had lost over, like I've never, I've done the gain 20, lose 20, but I've never had like a lose 100, gain 100 position. So when you say you kind of gained and lost, was it 5 to 10 pounds?
No, it was over 100 both times.
Really? Okay. And what was tell us about that.
Yeah, when I was in high school, well, at least I think the first time was over 100. I wasn't really weighing myself, but I lost a ton of weight. I was on hydroxycut. I don't know if you guys remember when that first came out.
Yeah.
You mean caffeine?
Yeah, and maybe that's why I have such a caffeine issue. If you look at those pills, back then it was take 2 3 times a day for the first week. And then it was take 3 times a day, and then it was take 4 times a day. And so I was like, I think it was 12 pills a day. And I was on a bicycle, like a stationary bike, and my youth pastor would be like working out on the right. He didn't know I was taking hydroxycut, but like all the weight just flew off. And I was eating chicken and rice like a lot. And there wasn't really any kind of real diet I was following. And I probably went from like at that point, like 4X to a 2X, or maybe a 5X to a 2X is probably where that was. It was right around 19. I have a pretty bad memory, so it's hard to like pinpoint things. But basically, I put it all right back on. I went and started working at Best Buy, and I moved out of my youth pastor's house, and I was just kind of on my own. And you know, fast food all the time, smoking weed, and then eating like crazy at the Arco. Go to, you know, smoke and then walk over to the Arco and pile up all sorts of hot food out of like gross stuff, like those jalapeno cheese corn dogs, like
Jalapeno cheese.
terrible food. And I had to close my door so my kids don't hear this one day. They'll hear it, I guess. And you know, it's just bad lifestyle choices, very bad lifestyle choices. I didn't really like alcohol that much, so I would turn to weed and then do a bunch of stupid shit while I was on it, or while I was smoking it. And even when I was not smoking it, I mean, we're talking McDonald's for breakfast, like just lazy stuff, not wanting to get up, cook my own food. So I threw it all back on, got up to about a 5X shirt. I know for sure 5X shirt again, because that's the kind of size I would need at Best Buy, which is super embarrassing, by the way.
100%.
Going to work somewhere and them asking you what size shirt you need, and you're like, 5X, do you guys make the 5X?
Oh, 100%. I remember in high school,
like bright blue.
No, high school I was the same way, where it was just like you would sit here and I was a 4X in high school, and it's like, hey, what size shirt? We got something going on. And like you'd say, I would say 3X just to try to make it seem less. And I'd put on these shirts. Oh, I got pictures. I look like a friggin' sausage in these things. And it's just like, what was
Popping out the casing?
Yeah, I'm like, you friggin' idiot. But
Terrible.
I couldn't put myself to tell people I was a 4X plus. And so I would just say 3X. It would look stupid.
Well, I think on the last show we were talking about how you always undershoot your your weight. You know, back in high school, if you were really like, you know, pushing 4, you were like, you know, I'm just around 300. So
100%.
I don't even know what I weigh. And I would order the bigger shirt because I didn't like the way I was worried about how I would rather say what I was than how I would look in it.
Right, I feel you.
Rather
There was no
respect that.
shame in Caleb's game. Do you see this man? He's finessing all the time. So
No shame anymore, for sure. Confidence is at a high, at an all-time
Yeah.
high.
So then you
But then I
lost
put it all back on.
Put it all back on. Okay.
And then I moved down here to Huntington Beach with my brother when I was about 26, and continued my smoking habits and working from basically all day, from like 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. and doing like mortgages and stuff. And I would wake up super early, 5 a.m. and go down to Laguna and do these stairs. And that was kind of my exercise routine. But I wasn't really losing weight.
right.
No, not now. Now's not a good time. Love you. And so I go up and down these stairs. Wouldn't really lose much weight. Listen, I'm on a call, buddy. This is really important. Here, take my water. Go.
I love it. You're welcome.
I love you.
All right, now go kick some butt.
Eat some cookies.
Eat some cookies.
Don't eat cookies. Go kick butt. No. For anybody that wants to know what that is, because David doesn't edit anything out. My 5-year-old's good at 2 things: eating cookies and kicking butt, and he's all out of cookies.
All out of cookies.
All out of cookies. I love it.
Anyway, so that was kind of my thing. I would try to work out just to be in shape, but I mean, I wasn't really progressing because I didn't care what I ate, you know. And if you don't have control on both, I mean, you guys know you can't get results. So that went on for a while.
Were you walking these stairs because you wanted to? Was someone influencing you? What was
I knew I could lose. So once you lose 100 pounds,
right,
you know you can do it.
Right.
And I think everybody knows this feeling, obviously, of okay, I'm going to start again on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to start again on Tuesday.
Right.
You know, and it would continue, you know, and then next thing you know, it's 6 years later and you haven't done anything. and you allow circumstances to basically control your thoughts and,
Right.
and how you handle going forward as far as like actually starting again. And I smoked a lot of cigarettes, 2 packs a day back
Okay.
then. And so climbing the stairs was difficult for me, and staying motivated to go every day was difficult for me. But I always had my brother Josh, who's like right above me, about 7-year gap. He's the second to youngest, and he's always in my ear. Like, hey, he's worried about my weight, just worried about me as a person. And obviously, it's very difficult for people to come to you and tell you you got an issue.
Right.
Thank God he had the balls to do it, often enough to where it would be in the back of my head. And I look up to him, and I always want to impress my brothers. So like, if he's like giving me some shit about it, it's kind of like, okay, well maybe I need to start it.
And
so
what was
always
his?
one of the things.
Was it kind of like from your brother? Was it kind of like the sincere, humble conversations? Like, hey, I love you. I know. Was it like that, or was it like, all right, fatty, let's go up the stairs?
Never.
Never. Okay.
Well, he doesn't really work out, but he can't say let's go up the stairs together. Although he'll tell people he works out. But no, it was always sincere, especially as we went down the road. So like when I first moved down here with him, it was more like just on the side conversations. But me and him, he runs a business and I help him run it. And he wants to retire one day and he wants me to run it. When he leaves. And
Very cool.
he's had talks where he sat me down and was like, look, I'm worried you're gonna die. This last go around and the go around before, sat me down and said, I need you alive. Like, you can't just die on us, which he's right. And like I said, at a very young age, I accepted the fact that I was never gonna lose weight and keep it off. I mean, I finally lost 100 pounds, but I lost it with hydroxycut. You know what I mean? And
After you stopped using the hydroxycut, how quickly did you put the weight back on?
Instant, like super fast. That's when I stopped. So I stopped that, and then I went to Best Buy, and it was like, and I started smoking weed, and I was like,
hydroxycut. Hydroxycut's so funny to me because, like, for anyone, all hydroxycut is caffeine.
Yeah,
like that's what it is.
Well,
like,
this was when it first came out, and it had stuff that's in speed.
Well, amphetamines, but like. But the big thing is like that does that is it's the caffeine. It's the accelerating.
Right, it curbs
It curbs the hunger, and like people don't understand when you're taking a hydroxycut, when you get to full dosage, you're taking like 2,000 milligrams of caffeine a day.
Yeah, it's great.
It gets you lit. Yeah, until your heart just pops. Yeah. But
I'm surprised I didn't have a heart attack.
No fact.
Yeah. This stuff's dangerous, man. It really is.
Yeah, listen, I mean, Hydroxycut used to have great commercials. Actually, remember we used to have really good commercials? Stacker 2. Stacker 2 had some great commercials that made me as a fat kid want to go out and start taking pills. Well, yeah, that's
wrestling.
Yeah. They were the sponsor for wrestling for mad long. So there I was being fat and watching Stacker 2 commercials. Like, I don't have to work out. I can just take some pills.
Just take some pills. I love it.
So you're smoking weed. You're obviously you're gaining back the weight. Your brother's trying to get you under control. He's having those heart-to-hearts with you, which is amazing. What is your first move of attack to try to make the next time around the last time around?
Well, I got into playing poker, Texas Hold'em.
Okay.
And I suck.
I was about to say you don't want these problems.
I'm terrible.
Actually, then perfect. I want to play because I can take your money.
So really, you lost all the weight because you were running from poker tables because you were losing all the money.
No.
Is that what you're telling me? Oh, okay.
Not even. I was playing these games weekly with some friends, and when I do something, I become fully like invested and addicted to it. Like it's just I have such an addictive personality. So we started playing this weekly, and I was like, man, I love this, but I have the worst memory. I can't even tell you if a flush beats a straight. I always have to look it up before I go and play. Okay. And my brother Josh was always trying to find ways to motivate me. So he's like, look, Caleb, I was pushing. I was over 400. I was eating McDonald's every morning. I was having one of their iced caramel coffees every morning.
Oh God!
Like
It's like 2,000 calories right there, just in that cup.
boom, right, 7 a.m.
Sugar straight to the veins, baby.
Yeah.
Boom.
Straight to the veins.
So bad. Undisciplined as fuck, dude. Anyway, so get to work, and it was a very small, tight community at the time, and now we're pretty big. But he was like, "Look, Caleb, I know you love poker right now." He's like, I have a deal for you. Quit smoking cigarettes. I'd already quit smoking weed, by the way. I quit smoking weed for this career that I'm in now. And he's like, okay, I need you to quit smoking cigarettes and lose 100 pounds. You do both, and I'll pay your entry into the World Series of Poker.
Okay.
All right, that's interesting.
That's 10 grand. Okay.
Caleb, Mr. addicted to anything, is like, oh, okay, well, how are we going to do this? And he's like, well, I just looked up this personal trainer called the T-Spot. It's in Huntington Beach. And he's like, and I already set a meeting. We're going to go meet him. So he'd already set it all up. I'm like, okay, cool. So we drove over there, and the guy's like, look, it's personal training. It's like CrossFit, and we're going to do it. It's normally with like 4 people, and, you're going to come here 4 days a week for an hour. And then we're going to set you up with my wife. She's a nutritionist. She's going to put you on a plan, and you're going to go from there. And I was like, okay, cool. So I quit smoking cigarettes, started chewing gum and chewing on toothpicks, which I still do, to curb that. And then you're going to do this 4 days a week.
I gotta say this because this is a big red popping statement for anyone listening right now. This is so friggin' important to know. You don't just end habits.
Oh, yeah. You create new ones.
You create new ones.
Yeah.
And whether you know it or not, you do.
Yeah.
And so it is so vital when you're stopping a bad habit, you better fill it with a better one, or you'll just fill it with another bad one. That's why oftentimes people who stop smoking, they start
eating. Yeah.
Because they start eating. And so so it's so important for anyone listening right now that if you're going to take these bad habits out, you better find something that fills the void that's positive.
Which is funny because when I stopped smoking cigarettes, I was in the midst of losing weight. So I don't even remember how I did that. Still went to the gym and not smoked cigarettes. But yeah, anyway, stupid story. But yeah.
Well, when you quit smoking cigarettes, just for anybody out there that's smoking cigarettes and you want to quit smoking cigarettes, 2 things you can think of. One, they put rat poison in cigarettes.
Yeah, I didn't care about that. It tastes good. No, I'm kidding.
I know,
Please don't listen to me.
You tell yourself that every time you want to have a cigarette, you quit. You're like, man, there's rat poison in there. They literally put rat poison in there, and I'm smoking it. Like, what? And then also, your teeth. They turn yellow, man. So put some Trident White in, chew on a toothpick, maybe you'll lose the weight. Or maybe you'll quit smoking cigarettes and lose weight.
Okay.
So anyway, we did that for a while. We did it for a year, a lot. That's where I really went down a lot. So I got down to like 317, I think, or 307, somewhere in there. I can't.
So you lost 100.
Yeah, I lost over 100.
How'd you do in the World Series of Poker?
We never did it.
Oh.
You know why? He'll do it. If I called him right now and was like, hey, I want in, he'll do it. But it just, I suck.
It would have been a waste of 10 grand.
Well,
Honestly, a waste of money.
You should just tell him the 10 grand he was going to use to enter you in. He might as well just pay for your skin surgery.
But all right, pulling back, you lose 100 pounds through like a CrossFit type workout program. You had.
How'd you enjoy it? What was CrossFit like for you?
I love it.
There's
this guy, Mike Trio. Shout out to him. He'd probably never see this or hear it because he's like off in La La Land. But that dude changed my life. He's amazing.
Do you still do that program? Like, do you still do that type of working out or?
Nah. Well, that one was just a little wild. Like there's deadlifting in there, and I'm not down with. I told you right before this, I'm not down with deadlifting.
You have a pretty sensitive back.
Yeah, and I got my own routine right now. And that routine is just money.
Wait. Hold on. This doesn't make sense to me because I was told that if you want to lose weight, you have to do CrossFit.
No.
And if you want to work out, the only workout scheme is CrossFit. It's CrossFit.
And if you want to be popular on Instagram for losing weight, you have to do CrossFit. I'm just letting you know, Rye. Like, that is the rules and regulations. You have to do CrossFit. You have to wake up super early in the morning.
It's Poro, obese to beast, or nothing.
Yeah. or nothing. That's it.
Or nothing.
That's how you have
Poro
to do
would
it,
never
guys.
tell you that. Poro would never tell you that.
Obviously,
We're obviously poking fun at the fact. Yeah.
We're kidding, people. But the
That's
philosophy.
my boy. That's my boy. I got it
love
on
Poro.
my I will wall right here.
I mean, I love
I'll
Poro.
do CrossFit with Alex. What's
I
up?
love it.
Alejandro.
Out.
Shout out to Alejandro.
I love you.
No doubt.
But the reason why I'm
Stay hungry, baby. Stay
it's the
consistent. Stay motivated.
100%. It's just the classic of, oh well, if I'm not going to the gym, can I lose weight? Wait. I thought I had to cut my carbs to lose weight. Wait. I thought eating too much protein would, and all this BS.
You know what it is? Everyone, obviously we've all been there. When we start out, we think that there's this one size fits all for losing weight, and now the next. Let's just
Except for
call
drinking
it like
a gallon of water a day, boys and girls.
right. So let's just say the next generation. So when I tried to start losing weight when I was younger, there was no such thing as Instagram. You know what I'm saying? There was no such thing as Facebook. There was maybe MySpace then, but like nobody was making accounts about losing weight back then. Let's be real. So the only influence that I personally had growing up on doing diets and stuff was just knowing people that had lost weight in my personal life doing, let's say, Weight Watchers, South Beach Diet, whatever. But now the next generation of, weight loss people are going to be influenced by what people are doing on Instagram. And they're going to see guys like Obese to Beast, Alex, doing CrossFit. They'll see guys like myself, David, Caleb, Steve Arnone that are doing bodybuilding. You're going to see people like Gormy and Keto D doing keto and preaching the keto life. So now technology has opened up new avenues of influence to how people are going to go about losing weight, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool. But again, there's not this one size fits all that everyone thinks. So,
Mm-hmm.
The next generation might think, CrossFit's the answer, where my generation was like, Weight Watchers, help me lose weight.
Yeah,
Whatever the case may be.
You want to know what the answer is?
You have to strength train. You have to.
I got the answer.
What's the answer?
Discipline.
Yeah.
Discipline. Ooh.
It is. That's huge.
Say that D word again. Say that D word again.
Disciplined, and you control this. It doesn't matter what program you're on. You're going to lose weight.
So what were some things that helped you get control to teach yourself to be disciplined?
I got a bunch of that. We can talk about that in just a second, but I want to go back to what you were just talking about with Instagram. And I'm going to fast track now because I don't want to sit in the past because I passed the past. But I lost all that weight and then I put it back on. And again, it goes back to when I got goosebumps thinking about it. It goes back to when I was a kid thinking about how I'm never going to be skinny. I'm never going to be small. I'm always going to be fat. There's nothing I can do about it. I can lose 100 pounds on hydroxycut, not sustainable. I can go do CrossFit 4 days a week and try to be on this crazy food thing that I was doing for the year, just chicken and rice constantly and not having a reason to doing it, unsustainable. Mm-hmm. And no one around me, no one, I could look left, right, everywhere. I could look everywhere. No one around me was 458 pounds and then lost the weight and kept it off. There's just no proof of it. The only proof is Jared on Subway. Yeah. Pedophile. Yep. Walking down the street.
I knew. I had the feeling you were about to say that.
He
had AIDS.
Goofball, who no one even knew was real or not.
Who? Wait, what was the last person that you just said?
Jared from Subway.
Oh, okay. All right. You're still on Jared. Yeah.
So you got all that. And so, once I got down to 3 whatever and I met my wife at the time, my girlfriend, obviously, it was like, okay, I got what I want. I got a girl. That's what I really wanted. I didn't want to go to World Series poker as much as I actually wanted a real girlfriend. Mm-hmm. And so here I was, I had a girlfriend who had 2 kids and I just jumped right in and it was like, oh, I don't need to worry about all that other stuff because I'm never going to really be skinny. I can't be skinny. You know what I mean? Look, I don't see anybody around here that's lost this kind of weight.
Dude, no, but the thoughts that you're projecting right now are the same thoughts that I had.
100%.
I'm touching on this real quick. And then fast forward to where we are now, I'm like, I don't know, I'd have to go, I have notes or whatever, I can go look it up, I have whatever, I can go look, but I'm on Instagram and I see Alex Poro, and I see him at 210 pounds or whatever, 220, and he was 80, and I'm like, I'm 450, well at the time I was probably, 415 when I found him, but I was like, it's possible. This is real. I can really do this. And then, you see Gormy's page. I'm like, really do this. And then you see John's page because he's part of the Fantastic Four. And you're like, oh my God, this shit is fucking possible. Like it could really happen. But can it? Like, can I actually do it? You know what I mean? So it's like, and at the time you just doubt yourself. But I'm telling you right now, anybody that's listening to this shit, you can do it. And I'll fucking walk you right through it. Like, you can hit me up on Instagram, you can hit me up on Discord, you can join our community. I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't charge anything. I don't care. Just call me, text me. I'll hand to hand together. Like, all you got to do is fix this and stay disciplined, and your whole entire life can change. And in a year and 6 months.
So now walk me through kind of the tools that you use to keep yourself disciplined.
All right. So to keep or that started it?
Well, started it, and then we'll work our way into, what kept you disciplined.
Because I don't really have. This is what keeps me disciplined now. But you got the Freedom Journal. I don't know if you guys ever heard of this. I mean,
yeah.
Obviously, you guys have heard of it. I talk about it in the Discord. So this is where it all started. Actually, it started with the Mastery Journal, which my brother got for me for Christmas. And it was all about mastering productivity, which you would probably love this, David.
Ooh, it's up my alley.
Yeah, this book right here is money. So what it is all about creating a morning routine.
Yeet.
Discipline. And then shutting your door 4 times a day for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 40 minutes, whatever it's going to be, and focusing on one task, turning your phone off, turning your emails off, whatever, and just dialing in on that one task. And then afterwards, you got to rate yourself. How disciplined were you to staying on task? Did you check your emails? Did you check your phone, etc.? And then after 100 days, you realize you're more productive than you have been your entire life. So on like day 80, this dude, his name is John Lee Dumas. He's the man. He's an entrepreneur. He's got a podcast called Entrepreneurs on Fire. You should both listen to it.
Yep.
Both entrepreneurs. It's incredible. But 80, and he's a cool dude. This dude talks to me on Instagram via like straight up just talks to me. Like, he's the man. Anyway, 80 days in, he promotes the Freedom Journal, which is accomplish your number one goal in 100 days. And this book was in my brother's office, and I ran over there on day 80 of the Mastery Journal and opened. Oh, look, there's money in here. Oh,
My dude just made the come up.
yeah, baby.
Crazy when you get disciplined, you focus on a goal and hitting it, all of a sudden money just flies.
Money's just
There's no way that had to be planned. There's no way that
no, I
just
swear to God,
happened.
it just came out. Anyway, so the Freedom Journal is in my brother's office. I read it, and I was like, man, I can do this. This is all about setting one big goal. So whatever it's going to be for 100 days, and then doing mini goals every 10 days for 100 days to get to that goal.
It's called chunking.
And,
Kind of called the
it kinda
gains in
reminds me of
between.
the 2 pounds a day thing. It's like
Yeah.
the 2 pounds a day thing. And
Don't you love it how you start? That goes off to. I had this conversation with my. I can't remember who it was, but just this idea of I love Tony how he explains this of just, and I'm sure Tony got from somewhere else because again we all say the same thing in different verbiages.
Tony who? Soprano?
I was
who?
Robbins.
Oh,
And just the idea how there is an art to fulfillment and like becoming fulfilled and joyous in your life and creating what following the path that bring you joy and happiness, understanding the art form of being more in control, and then the laws to success. It's like if you want to lose 100 pounds, well, guess what? Focus on 2 pounds a week, and in 50 weeks you lose 100 pounds. It's not rocket science. Like, take a massive goal, chunk it down to believable steps, and just fucking do it.
And you'll be there.
And these are like this is success is a law form.
I think it also kind of goes back to what Caleb was saying before. Being an extremely obese person, who did we have as a role model that showed us that it was possible to lose weight? He's right. Jared from Subway was like the only guy on TV. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, no one really believes that shit.
Right. I don't believe that.
Who's gonna walk a mile to eat a Subway sandwich?
Right.
I'll walk a mile to eat McDonald's. Anyway, so this book. So the first goal was, God, See, my memory is just shot, bro. I think.
Hey, open up the book and look at page 1. It should tell you what your first goal was, right?
I
Is
will
that how
right
the
now.
book
I
works?
will right now. So I actually used to write my weight at the top. Should be. Yeah. So this is the first one right here. This book is beat up. You guys ever want to read it?
I want photostat copies.
Epic read. So yeah, I was 458 when I was on day 80. When I started this book, I was 444, and it was lose 50 pounds. Lose 50 pounds and fit in a 4XL shirt in 100 days. And on this, it was 99 days. And the first number one focus. So for the first 10 days, was going to be not to eat any sugar or drink any soda. And what a lot of people didn't know about me is just like my old McDonald's days, at this point in time in my life, on my way to work, I would stop at 7-Eleven. I would get 2 maple donuts, and then I would get a sugar-free Rockstar.
Well, because, the sugar-free Rockstar kind of negates the maple donuts.
Exactly.
Honestly. Yeah.
Because my old trainer was like, oh, yeah, sugar-free Rockstars are okay. So
Can I get a number 7, a number 2, and a large Diet Coke?
Yes.
Yes, exactly. But I was addicted to that. And I drove by 3. I still do it. I drive by 3 7-Elevens. Actually, 1, 2. Now I drive by 1, 2, 3, 4 7-Elevens on my way to work. So now when I walk into 7-Eleven, I flip the donuts off.
I flip off dead end signs and stop signs, so I don't blame you. It's all right.
Exactly. But I don't know if you can see this board.
We have a nice office.
You see that board?
It's gorgeous.
So the top one right here. Yeah, right here. Freedom Journal 4/12/2019. So I marked each pound off as I lost on Freedom Journal the first time I wrote it. So I lost 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 50, 55, 60, 65 pounds in 100 days. And so that was like, I could do this. And about day 22 in there is, and you asked about tools, so morning routine. I had to do a morning routine every morning. And it was watch a motivational video for 6 minutes.
Right.
And I came across this one from David Goggins called like the most motivating 6 minutes you'll ever have or whatever. And I probably watched that video now over 200 times. And it's all about mind control. And, at the beginning, he says, I call myself fat and you should too, basically. And for me, that was like a realization that it's okay to call myself fat because I am fat. I still am fat. And there's nothing I can do about it until I lose it all. So just accept it and go. So for me, that was just kind of the start. But I watch that every single day. And then on day 22 or whatever, I stumbled across a Jocko one, which is, that guy's my hero. He's obviously I'm the reason I am who I am now. I did it, right? But if I didn't have him or Goggins in my ear, I don't know if I would have done it. And it was day 22, I think. I'd have to go back through the journal and find it. And I listened to him, and I was on day 22 of working out in a row. And I was literally going to take a break that day. I told my coworker, Chad, I'm like, hey, taking the day off. I'd already worked out in the morning. I was like, I'm taking tomorrow off. This is it. And then I stumbled across that motivational video with Jocko that morning. And he's like, there's one thing I want you to procrastinate, and that's taking a day off. He's like, if you want to take a day off, I want you to work out. And then if you still want to take a day off after that, then you really need it. Your body really needs it, then take it. And so I was like, well, I already worked out today. But I'll work out again when I get home, and then I'll determine that. So I went home. I was doing 2 days at the time. So I went home and I got on the elliptical again. And when I got off the elliptical, I was like, I feel fine.
Right.
I'm working out tomorrow. And so that is where the streak started. And then it got to 50 days and 100 days. And I was celebrating on Instagram. So it felt good because, on there, everybody's giving you pumps. And I got Poro and Gormy and all these dudes that are bigger than life, especially at the time for me, encouraging me and pushing me and telling me good job, so that fuels it. And, then all of a sudden it was day 439 straight days of working out and pounds just flew off. So I was just consistently listening to those guys and just changing the way this brain works. You want to live, you want to survive, then just put in an hour every single day. It doesn't have to be crazy. I try to tell people all the time, I don't go ape shit on the elliptical. I just get on there. I don't even put it on a level. I just hit start and just go. And I watch a TV show on Netflix for an hour.
Oh yeah.
You want to incorporate lifting right after, or you want to incorporate walking for 20 minutes right after, or both. If you have the time and you want to incorporate the sauna, if the saunas are open, then do it. But just at least 1 hour on the elliptical every day, no matter what you do. Like, wake up an hour earlier. Everybody's like, I don't have time. I didn't have time. I have 3 kids. They're all 3 in sports. You know, my wife works 2 jobs. I work a job. Like there's no time. That's what all you hear. Well, no, that's bullshit. Wake up at 3 a.m. Wake up at 4 a.m. Go put an hour in. If you want it, go get it. Like, it's right there. It's literally right there. All you got to do is be disciplined and stick to it. I'm not saying you got to work out 439 straight days like some maniac like I was, but I think you'll realize once you get 10 days in that it doesn't even matter.
There's a thing. I just want everyone to remember there is definitely a thing as called overtraining, and overtraining is bad.
For sure.
Very bad.
That's why I say do an hour on the elliptical at the lowest speed. You're not overtraining.
No, that's not overtraining. Yeah.
You're just cruising.
It's so interesting
though.
100%, and it's so interesting there because it's like everyone thinks that just going off of that whole thing. It's like just 10,000 steps a day. Like the science behind 10,000 steps a day and how it helps your heart and how it helps like metabolize fat, and it's like just 10,000 steps. Go for a walk. That's a 3-mile walk.
It's funny you just said it because that's kind of where this all started too. Because my sister-in-law was walking Spain. You know how they have that walk in Spain?
Yeah, actually, my friend was just talking about it.
Yeah,
that's so funny.
She was walking it.
Why? Wait, tell me about this walk in Spain.
It's like the Catholic. It's called like the Rose or something. It's or what's it called? It's called.
I don't recall.
Not a rose. It's some walk in Spain that goes. It's I'm gonna
From
Google
one
it.
end to the other.
Yeah.
And is it exactly 10,000 steps?
The Camino de Santiago.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly what it is. And it's just a walk. It's like it's a religious walk of how you walk across the country and it goes to somewhere to then go to the Catholic church somewhere or something like that. I had my buddy that did an 8-month trip around the world for a big Christian fellowship thing, and he did it. And it's like you walk the whole thing. And it's fascinating.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, you leave your shoes. You walk.
You leave your shoes.
Yep.
And you only have a backpack. You don't bring anything else.
Yeah, just a backpack, and you walk the whole thing. And then when you get to the church at the end of it, which is like off this bluff, you leave your shoes.
And then what?
You're done.
And then how do I get home? I'm not making fun of it, but I'm just saying, how do I get home?
You fly home.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I just walk barefoot now.
Well, obviously you need a new pair of shoes.
Oh, okay. I'm asking questions because I've never heard of this.
Go and ask her because she did it.
My buddy Tyler Burke did it.
When she was doing that, we have a really cool culture at our office, and when she was doing that, everybody here decided they were going to try to do 10,000 steps a day and share it with her.
That's cool.
So she was walking it and posting, and then we would all post, and that's kind of one of the areas where the 10,000. So when you do the elliptical, you get like 5,000 steps if you do an hour. So like that was my trick to get to my 10,000. I was like, ooh, I could do 1,000 there, or I could do that for an hour and get there almost, and then go for a walk at night with the dogs. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of how it is. And then I hurt my back. That's why, if anybody wants to know why the streak ended, I hurt my back. That streak would have never ended. I probably would have been psychotic. I love you too, buddy.
I think that the streak should have always ended, to be honest with you. And we've had that conversation on the side. I think what you did is extremely important. I think that no one should take away your streak from you. But at the end of the day, at some point, you have to come to terms with the fact that there is such thing as overtraining. You probably were starting to hurt yourself more than you were starting to help yourself. And a lot of that can be seen, with what's going on with your back. Like, I'm going through the same thing right now. When quarantine started, I made a promise to myself to do a minimum of a 5K a day. And I was doing that on pavement. I'd never walked really like that beforehand. And as a result, I really fucked up my back. and it's just, you have to pick your battles. So for you to go as long as you did, and once again, remind me again, how long was the streak?
I believe I have to go back and listen. My first podcast was with Gormy on, I think, day 435. And then the day that podcast came out is the day I hurt my back.
Okay, so you did 435 days straight of working.
439.
Oh, 430. Okay, of working out. Yeah, dude, that you needed a break. You needed a break around day like 150. Your body needs that kind of rest. And anyone who tells you your body doesn't need rest is absolutely just out there, because your body is a machine.
I get it, but it's death or that. That's how my mind was.
It's not.
And
I know it's not.
I know it's not, but that's where my mind was.
Well, because the classic is
now it's different.
It's the classic always to me is what is the goal of any activity?
I don't know.
The goal of any activity is the outcome.
Correct.
That's what you want. And if so for example, it's like, this is where people get it like twisted with all this kind of stuff, like anyhow, keto, intermittent fasting, calorie counting, macro counting. You're like, I get that the action is so important, which it is, but guess what? The action is not what matters. It's the result what matters. And so you sit here and you're so hyper focused on this idea of like, I got to work out every day. I've got to work out every day. Well, why are you working out every day? What is the goal? The goal is to be healthy and happy. Well, is working out every single day healthy and happy? Not necessarily. No. And that's where people get twisted. That's where people like start getting, they misjudge that the action is extremely important. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it's like the result is what you're doing things for. And so then if always you're doing is focusing on the action itself, that's why you get these people that are you can poke holes in anybody, but like the law of attraction people that are the secret, where it's like, I get the foundation. It's very strong points of view of like, you attract what you think about most of the time. Right. That's the foundation. About feeling good. Well, I get that's a big piece of the puzzle, but are you getting the results? For sure. If you're not getting the fully results of what you're looking for, then there's something missing. And sometimes if you're getting the results, then great. But like there's plenty of people I know that they live and die by the law of attraction, and they're still not getting the things they want. Why? Because there's still nuances of the actions they're taking aren't necessarily exactly in line with what needs to be done.
They want, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so like, that's why it's like, I always focus on, okay, what's the outcome? What do you want? Right. Because like when you start doing that, then you can start navigating how. And it's like, I want to be healthy and happy. Well, that's great. If you're working out 3 hours a day to the point where your body's breaking down, is that necessarily healthy or happy? No. Now you can go, ooh, but working out 300 out of 365 days is. I like that. See, now we're on to something, because now you're outcome focused. And you start to navigate, because it's like keto people. Great example, keto people here. It's like, oh my God, this TikTok, it went across my TikTok, and it's so true. This girl, so hyper focused on fucking keto, she thought it was a good idea to take a thick hot dog, roll it in the cheese of a pizza, but not eat the bread, and act like that's fucking healthy. I'm like, no.
That sounded really good, though. Sound real good.
but this classic, like, you're taking this awful cheese with all this synthetic hot dog, and you're gonna look at me and say this is actually healthy. Well, it fits it fits her program, which is keto. Yeah. But I'm like, but that doesn't necessarily mean healthy. And what is the goal of being keto? Is to do things that are healthy. Mm-hmm. And it's like any program. It's like, that's why I always hammer being outcome focused.
Like, well, I'm very unhealthy.
Well,
I eat some processed shit, dude.
But
I ain't gonna lie.
Well, no, but I mean, shoot. I drink my fair share of Reigns.
I mean, I want, and I want to be healthy. Like, that's the end goal.
But
I really like buffalo wings. If anyone who cares, I really like buffalo.
But that's the point. Is the fact that health has a great balance to it. Health and happiness have a balance to it.
Well, I saw a quote online the other day that was like, "I'd rather you focus on 80% of your, diet, quote unquote diet or nutrition, rather than a full 100, because within that 80% you'll find your balance, and I'd rather you be balanced than be torturing yourself.
Mhm.
The minute that whatever you're doing becomes torture rather than a reprieve and trying to change your life, you need to stop.
Yeah.
If changing your life becomes torturous, guess what? There's a million other ways that you can change your life.
Mhm.
Just find the one that adds balance to
Yeah.
your life.
Yeah.
And that's really the quote unquote key to happiness.
But when does
As
it
long-
become torture?
As long
Well, your back.
getting
Talk to
the
your back and let me
results.
know exactly
Yeah.
when it.
Well,
and
well,
my
yeah,
whole
I'm
thing
talking
is
about like when does I understand the back injury, okay?
Yep.
What I'm referring to is like eating, like when you were saying that 80% of the diet. So like when does that become torture? Like
See,
I think
and that's
that,
where I
think
was
it
actually
becomes-
I was
think
I
it
was about to
becomes
say the same
torture.
thing.
I think it becomes torture when you allow your mind to think it's torture.
Oh,
I
a
agree.
1,000%.
You know,
Yes.
so
If you give yourself the excuse that anything is torture, then yes, it becomes
Yeah.
torturous.
It's like for example, have you seen like the my 600-pound lives where it's like the girl
No.
hates eating
Me neither.
vegetables? It is the funniest shit ever.
I hate
Like,
vegetables.
Yeah, I've seen a clip actually, but
Oh,
no,
like it's
that
like
show
a
gives
piece
me
of
bad
broccoli, and
vibes.
she's like, and
Yeah.
she's like free. Like that's so mental. That's just all like that's just this false belief system that you built in your head.
Yeah, let me
Yeah.
tell you. That's a perfect example. I hate broccoli. Like I would never eat broccoli. I don't eat vegetables. Like absolutely
Ever.
hate them. Terrified of them. When they go in my mouth, I throw it back up. It's just terrible. That was the old me.
Wait, can someone please define being terrified of a vegetable? Is the vegetable going to
I
come
just
out?
told
And
you.
We're
I just
talking.
told you.
Hold on. We talking
Okay, so
like
one of my biggest fears in the world is throwing up. So
Okay.
I hate throwing up. And when I eat vegetables, something triggers in here that makes me spit it back
Gag
up.
reflex. Okay, cool. No, I just wanted to know that.
Isn't
But
that
what ended up happening
fascinating?
is I learned how to control this.
Yep.
And I just went to flame broiler and I just got chicken and rice and I just got broccoli all over and I ate the whole damn thing.
Good for you.
And,
Yeah.
and all it was here,
Discipline.
controlling this. Okay, I'm going to eat this right now and I'm not going to throw it up because it's not going to kill me. This right here is going down my throat, damn it.
That's
Control
what
the
she-
mind.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. Or no.
I knew that
homo.
was coming.
No,
I
it's
should
true.
never said that.
Ah,
Sorry,
I had to.
Ange.
I had to. I'm sorry. No, but I
All right,
completely-
anyway.
no, but this is an important kind of like conversation. I think.
Oh yeah, 1,000%.
Well, because one
I
thing
think-
going off of what you were saying too is just like I understand the 80% rule, and there's a time and a place for that.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
without a doubt.
it's
If
like-
you're just starting on your journey, no 80%.
Sometimes it's gonna suck. Like
yeah, no,
like,
it has to
this-
suck before it gets better.
It's this idea, and this is where like even the previous episodes we talk about these. Oh my gosh, there's this. It's like you get these groups. It's so dangerous. I had to message and I immediately get blocked. It's so funny to me how like.
People just don't like you. I don't know if you realize that.
I said it so sincerely too. So this is what happened. So it was the classic. There's this classic 350-pound woman. It's talking about body positivity and health, and she's saying how doing all this bullshit. And obviously, she's not like a Kara where she got lipidemia. It's like this,
Right.
yeah, it's a whole different phenomenon. And she has this 14-year-old girl comment in her page on her post. It says, "I'm 14 and I'm a size 30. Is that bad?" And I go to her page and I look at her, and this girl's like 14, 5'3", and probably 200 pounds already.
Wow.
She's a large girl.
Yeah.
And I commented and I was like, should you lower the value of who you are? No. Should you decide to treat your body with better respect by eating more healthy and moving your body more? Yes. And then I said that, and then the 14-year-old girl was like, she originally said, "That's mean." And then I go, "What was mean about it?" question mark. And then she commented back saying, "Oh, sorry, I misread what you wrote." And then the woman, this 35-year-old woman who's 150 pounds overweight goes, "There's nothing wrong with being overweight." And then I commented back, I was like, "That is dangerous to tell a 14-year-old girl," and she blocked me.
Yeah.
And it's like this naivety of like where health is
Well,
like.
I think I kind of touched upon this yesterday on my Instagram, and something along the lines of like, health is wealth. If health is wealth, then weight loss is freedom, right? Because no matter what, I want to, preach body positivity into the world, and I think that body positivity is extremely important. But like we've said on this podcast a few times, there's a line that needs to be unblurred between body positivity and being healthy, and it's a thin line, and it's a very blurred line right now, especially on Instagram and whatnot. But if you are at a place of extreme overweight or morbid obesity, you have to really look at yourself in the mirror and say, is my current lifestyle unhealthy, or am I really just trying to be body positive?
I just try to build up sunshine and rainbows.
Right. Because the excuse of, well, I'm in love with myself and I love my body while I'm destroying the only thing that is going to keep me here, that's just, it's negligent. It's immature. It's just, yeah.
And going back to Caleb here, one of the things that I love the way you're explaining it now, and I think there's power in it. Like,
yeah,
some people would say otherwise, but discipline, breaking down mysticism, and 100% accountability, I live by it. Some people would call it naivety, which is like, regardless of what happens, the good, the bad, the ugly, it is my fault, period. Even if it's quote unquote out of my control,
right,
it's still my fault. Because, so for example, you could play the game of a significant other, you're in a relationship, the guy cheats on you, blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what? Whether you like it or not, you chose the guy, or the girl, what doesn't matter. You chose the relationship, they cheated on you. And like, breaking down mysticism and control, it's like, I control what goes in my mouth. Right. I control what I decide to move or not move today. I decide that there's power in discipline. There's power in stop the mysticism, where it's like, the idea of taking 100% accountability. I'm like, sweet. If I'm not getting something I want, I just got to change me.
Well, yeah,
powerful.
I was just going to ask you, and I was going to ask Caleb, basically, what is your breakdown of life? Like, what do you give a percentage to everything? So it's like, for me, and I think I've said it on here before, to me, life is 200%. You have to give 200%. So it's 100% accountability. It is 80% lifestyle. So by definition, for me, lifestyle breaks down to the way we eat, the way we conduct our lives. And then the other 20% is working out, because we all know that in order to lose weight, you don't have to go to the gym every day. I know that seems wild. You don't even have to go to the gym, 3 days a week. But if you are changing the way that you conduct your life and you're 100% accountable to those decisions, you are going to make change. So I just wanted to know quickly, what, if you had to give a percentage to life, what is your percentage and what is the breakdown?
Between those three things?
No, however you would set it up. So for me, again, for me, it's 100% accountability. You constantly have to be 100% accountable to everything you say you're going to do and follow through with it. Then you have 80% lifestyle, which is eating, taking a shower, normal, everyday, conduct your life thing. And then the other 20% is following through, going to the gym, a minimum of, 10,000 steps a day, whatever it is for you. So what is your breakdown of life?
I don't know.
Then I want you to think about it. Then that's one of your ALG goals this week.
Yeah, I mean, you can break it down. You can break down my day. My days are all, everything is routine for me. As you can tell, I'm addicted to poker, then it's like a routine for me.
Well, that's what I like about you, and that you're very disciplined in your routine. Routine is important to you in your life.
So my daily movement is like the same. Like, everything is the same. So for me, it's wake up. First thing I got to focus on is some kind of exercise, whether it's the elliptical or right now it's lifting. Like, I want to bulk out, I want to get muscle. So right now it's that, and then it's immediately cooking myself breakfast and my kids breakfast. If my wife's not doing it, it just depends, right? And then it's coming to work, getting to work, and on my way to work, listening to stuff that's going to make me smarter and have me grow as a leader. and have me grow within my personal life, whether it's these books you guys recommend or other books that people recommend. And then when I get here, it's meditating for 15 minutes, and then it's working all the way till 4:30. And throughout that time I work, staying disciplined on what I eat. Now, yes, I eat wings all the time. Like I eat unhealthy stuff, but it's part of this program of carb counting that I've kind of created on my own. So,
Right.
but I stay disciplined within that the entire day. And then I leave work and it's immediately kid time. It's practices, it's pick them up here, it's take them here, and it's come home, do laundry, clean, cook, dinner, like everything you can think of. And then that goes on till their bedtime. And then when they go to sleep, I have like an hour or whatever, well, not when they all go to sleep, but the youngest. And I kind of have an hour of like downtime and hopefully get to spend it with my wife of some sort or play a video game or something of that nature. And then I wake up and repeat. And then when the weekends come, it's all sports. Even right now during COVID, it's basketball. Like today was all trying to figure out how I was going to do this around their schedule. So,
Right.
But I repeat the same morning steps and the same foods. So percentage wise, I don't necessarily know what the percentages would be, but that is what a day in my life looks like. And it literally repeats
I like it.
like never
Bro,
ends. It's like the same thing
Caleb,
over
freaks
and
me
over.
out because you and I are so similar on this front. That's how I live. Like, whether I'm just sitting here thinking in my head, I go, okay, I break down my daily habits and daily routines into physical, mental, spiritual, relationship, community, money. And so it's like, all right, daily habit for physical. Did I work out? My nutrition plan. Daily habit for mental. Did I meditate and did I read? Daily habit for community. Did I do something to support the ALG community, everything like that, and support my online like Instagram and stuff like that? Yes or no?
Right.
Money. Did I work on the book? Did I work on this? Did I work on this? Did I scale this? Yes. Did I relationships? Did I call my mom and tell her I love her and then talk to her for 15 minutes or not? And it's like everyone wants to know why their life is out of whack. Well, what habits and what rituals have you created on a day-to-day basis that would balance your life to get the results you're looking for? You're like, well, my relationship with my family is getting worse, but I'm working 99% of the time and I have no time and effort put to family.
For them, yeah.
Huh, interesting.
Crazy.
You wonder why. Well, maybe you should set some habits and rituals that will balance that out.
What I like about you is you have it broken down like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even break it down into sectors. That's why that was such a difficult question for me because I'm just like,
But you have a routine. You're very routine based.
But you're doing it.
you're in the sectors.
You're
You
what
know what you're doing.
you're what I would call unconsciously competent, which is
Correct.
you're unaware that you're doing the right things.
100%.
Like
You
that.
would do really well in the military. You would have done really well in the military, without a doubt.
Except for I couldn't run.
I
My dad was a Green Beret, by the way. Shout out to him.
know you. I know you've been talking about doing like a podcast for your dad, right?
I am. Actually.
Yeah, that's so dope.
Yeah, that's
Got the
dope.
questions logged out.
I love that.
I'm undisciplined in that
But getting
factor
better.
of my life, and that is
Yeah.
something I need to
But-
fix.
but
So,
getting
so
better.
what is to kind of like shift it a little bit? What is the next set of goals that Caleb has? Like, where does Caleb see himself in the next 6 to 8 months? Matt, let's take COVID off the table. There's no
You can't
COVID.
take COVID. You can't take COVID. off
I
the
know
table.
it's hard.
It's reality.
But
I
yeah,
don't care about COVID. COVID doesn't.
I don't.
affect-
Yeah, COVID
True.
doesn't affect me. I don't let COVID stand in the way of me getting my goals down. But what does the next 6 to 8 months look like for you?
I don't know, and it's kind of funny. Like I don't really care.
Okay.
Like I mean,
See, that's good because if we would have had this 6 months ago and I would have asked you that, you would have given me a whole list of routine that you were going to do for the next 6 months.
100%. Well, let's just talk a little bit about goal weights.
Okay.
So, like, Ange was talking about in her last thing. She's like, I hit my goal weight. And then it was kind of like, okay, what do I do next?
Right.
When you're 458 pounds,
Right.
you honestly have no clue what you will look like at 220.
Truth.
There's no telling. You could be 6 foot, you could be 6'5", monster like John. You could be Poro's height, and you could look at like Poro's Instagram for me was like, okay, I can do this. I can get to 220. I can do that.
Right.
Like I can look like that. I can have like when he floats in the stomach and he has those abs. Like I can be that. And so when you start at 458, you're like, okay, I can get to 220, and that becomes your goal weight, right? And then as you're going, people around you just start asking like, oh, where do you want to get? Where do you want to go? And you're just like 220, 225. I still don't know what I'm going to look like when I get to 256, which is where I got, right? And, thankfully to you, John, like helping me with the mindset of realizing that it's not just a number on the scale, right? Like I need to figure out what I want,
right,
instead of this number, right? Which is what I have been chasing that whole time. What's wrong, buddy? Come here. Yeah, but if you're really good at kicking butts, does that really hurt? It's all in your mind, bud.
No.
Come here. Let me see it. He's fine. Trust me. Let me see.
Look at Caleb
like
being a
that?
dad. I just love
Look
it.
at
I
him
love when
being a dad.
Caleb has to be a dad.
What's up, buddy?
What's up, pal?
You okay?
Kick some butt.
Can you do me a favor and go flex on somebody?
Flex on him every day.
All right, let me close the door.
David, cut this out.
Anyway, so I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what I would look like at 220. So I got rid of that out of my mind. And then, I have this thing where there's this Tony dude on Instagram. Like that guy, I don't know if you've seen him. Tony, I think it's Sanders is his last name. He was on Gormy's
Maybe.
podcast with that.
Oh,
dude,
okay. Yes, I know who you're talking about.
Like, come on, dude, I want to look like that. I want to
Yeah.
look like Keto D.
I want Caleb to look like Caleb.
Well, yeah, everybody says that. Okay, cool. Yeah, I want to look like me too. I love my body.
I think you should have inspiration. You should have motivation. You should have someone to look up to. But at the end of the day, you need to want to be you.
I do want to be me. That's what I try to explain to people. Like, I don't want to get it twisted. When I look at Tony's body and I look at his upper body, I'm like, yeah, I want to look like that. I want that.
Right.
Like, but I don't know what I'm going to look like.
Right.
Frankly, I have no idea what I'm going to look like. So, but that's a good look. Like, I like that look. I want my shoulders big. I want to be big, dude.
Right.
And so that's where this mindset now is. It's like, okay, I'm gonna take protein. I'm gonna lift, and I'm gonna lift heavy, and I'm gonna bench press 300. It's on my wheel wall. Like, I'm gonna do all sorts of stuff. I'm gonna do everything on this wheel wall, and no more counting the weight. Like, I'm just done with the weight. I don't really care. So 8 months from now, I see myself much stronger. I see myself still disciplined. I see myself living a life that I never thought I was ever going to live. But there's no more, I know my name's Goal Crusher, but there's no more like goals. There's only I wills. It's just no more goals.
Okay.
I'm going to do this shit, and nothing's going to stop me. I'm going to ride every roller coaster when Six Flags opens. Like, it's happening.
Oh, I like that.
So that's kind of where I'm at now. I don't recommend that for everybody.
Well, I mean,
Uh,
you're
if-
manifesting the things you want, which I see nothing wrong with. When you talk into the universe and you tell it, I have it already, or I will have it, you're bound to get it. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
that's my
excited.
psychology. That's how I look at life.
And it's
but yeah,
I'm sorry, I'm just a little like,
No. See, like, and this is the whole thing to me. It's like, again, so going back to the foundation for me, it's like health and happiness has a great balance to it, and this idea that you have to be 225 to be healthy, not necessarily true. And I think it's so important to sit here and think. I remember, for example, it's like when I did my bodybuilding show and I got down to 212. My perception of what 212 looked on me when I was 400 pounds, I thought I would look like Dwayne fucking Johnson.
Yeah,
Not what it actually looked like.
dude, I wanted to get down to 220. I always wanted to be like 225, 215, and then I got down to like 237. I was like, dude, you look like ass. Like, you look like a bag of bones. And then I decided to, stop being a bitch, to lift heavy, and yeah. But anyway, but yeah,
And
you
that's
never
what
know
it's
your
about
own.
right there.
The only thing,
about.
the only stipulation, and I'll say this to you on this call and to anyone in that position, because again, like, everyone is navigating territories they've never been, and so
Right.
it's like getting constructive criticism from people who have been in that position and gotten the results you're looking for. The one thing I will just say is something to be careful of is when you pivot away from the scale completely and you talk about strength and strength training and building muscle, it can turn to fat real quick. Like I won't name names, but there are plenty of people that I've met that they've lost 150, 200 pounds and like, I'm going to get in strength training and I'm going to get into, and all of a sudden they gain 80. Yeah. They gain 30 pounds of muscle, but they gain 50 pounds of fat in the process.
Yeah.
And
Can I tell you what's happened to me?
yeah.
I mean, because it's right along the lines of that. So, and it's all, you got to be smart. Like doing what John told me to do, which is live a kind of a different life than I was already living. I knew that if I wanted to continue to lose weight, I had to continue to stay disciplined, right? And I knew that I could fall back on that. And this last month and a half, I've let go.
Right.
I've had pizza multiple times. I've had stuff that I would never incorporate into my life. And I watched that scale, even though I was working out every day. What, buddy? Love you. I watched that number go from 256 to 276. Like that. Just like that. And I wasn't weighing myself every day, and I was weighing myself probably every couple of days, and I watched it go up, and I was like, whatever, I'm lifting. I'm putting on muscle. I'm not worried about it. And then I slipped on the food and got a little undisciplined. And it all came to a realization last Saturday. And I was like, whoa. Because the normal not the normal person, the normal Caleb would have just fallen off the discipline and kept going that way you were just saying right now. But on Saturday, I was like, whoa, what am I doing? Okay. Sunday, I'm getting back on this. And I'm going to eat better all week long. I'm going to make sure I get some kind of cardio in every day, and I'm still going to lift. And here I am, boom, down all the way over here. And today I was 264. So I'm like right back down into where like I felt good.
Right.
Exactly.
And I'm going to keep going. But it's all about like what you just said right now. If you're not in control of your mind and control of discipline, you're going to put on the 50 pounds of fat like that. If you're going to make that lifestyle change.
Right.
And
well,
being outcome focused, where it's just like, okay, so what do you want? So like keeping it, because sometimes people tend to hyper focus too much, and they don't get balance and context to it. It's like, so like bodybuilding and let's say bodybuilding, not so much because you think about body fat and stuff like that. Say strength training. All of a sudden you just go to you go from losing 150 pounds, 200 pounds, 300 pounds to I just want to lift as much weight as possible. The issue with that is oftentimes the more food you eat and the bigger you get, the more you move. That's why the world's strongest men are all 400 freaking pounds.
Yeah, exactly.
And so like, if now all you're focused on is getting as strong as possible, you never have any context of, okay, what's my number on the scale? What's my body fat percentage? And all you're doing is just, I can bench 425 now. Shit, I'm 330 pounds again. And all of a sudden you look up and you're 330 pounds. I can bench press 425. And it's like, well, you're 330 pounds, man. And like, and so it's so important because I was there too. Like it. And so like having that context of like, all right, I want to get as strong as possible as long as it doesn't conflict with living at a healthy body weight.
Correct.
And like and like getting that context because and like this can only come from someone
right now. I just want to go work out right now.
Right.
And so I tell you what,
but if you're outcome driven, right? If you're outcome driven and you are hype and you're focused on change and you're focused on your goals, you can still hit those things without being mindful of the scale every day.
100%.
You know,
but some people,
as long as you possess
it.
Oh yeah. Oh, without a doubt. But again, that comes back down to discipline, which I think Caleb has. So when I told him, hey, don't be mindful of that scale every day, it's because I know that Caleb has discipline in his life. He will discipline himself to make what he wants happen.
Yeah.
You know,
thank God. Because if I wasn't disciplined, like.
But that's what's so interesting too is like when you come from that point of view of like 100% accountability with discipline, the decisions and actions and thoughts I have in my life, it all changes. Like, it's not white knuckle. I'm getting this sniffle.
Are you all right? You getting COVID? You got the Rona?
I've had this cold for like 2.5 weeks, and
that's the Rona. It's the Rona.
I gotta blow my nose, but whatever. And it's like,
that mask really helped you in the gym.
oh yeah, that little cotton mask, man. It just does wonders. It just
does wonders.
Just CDC just says it just does wonders. But okay.
All right, guys. I think this is a really good place to pivot. We've been talking
Yeah.
for about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So, Caleb, we're going to wrap this up, and I'm going to hit you with a couple of rapid fire questions. Are you ready, Caleb?
Can I show you one thing?
You can show me whatever you want.
Right. I know, and I could talk to you guys for hours.
Yeah,
anyway, I want to show you guys this because, and first of all, just let me make it real quick for everybody. It's very important to put your successes in front of you, especially in these journeys. So mine was the white wall and marking my pound down every day and staring at that all day long while I was working. It was just a fresh reminder that within discipline is success. And if you stay disciplined, that happens. But one of the other things I have, which I don't know if you guys know about this, maybe you do, Gormy knows, but
shout out to Gormy.
I have what I call my belt wall.
Oh yeah.
Oh, cool.
So
I didn't know you had this.
Yep.
I had no idea.
So that first belt, which is as long as an anaconda, I'm gonna grab it. Right?
Anaconda don't. My
Anaconda don't want
got
none
buns,
unless you
son.
got buns, son.
This is it right here. So you can come on in, Jason. Come on over here. So you
That
can
is.
What up, bro?
see.
Wow, that's great.
I can wrap this
That's
thing
great.
around him.
That's funny.
That's amazing. I gotta break out my 76er.
See, I never.
That's what I call her.
I
Yeah,
never used a belt or pants around my waist. I always I lifted the flap and always went underneath, even though it hurt, because I couldn't do
You
it.
lifted it. Yeah. I understand what you did. Yeah,
Yeah.
but then see, I was worried about getting the cut.
Oh yeah, it hurt. I
Yeah.
didn't wear belts most of the time because of it.
Yeah. No, but I had to eventually because it was just so.
That's so
big.
dope.
I'm actually going to add three other questions for Caleb because I feel like Caleb will answer these really well. All right, Caleb, your first of rapid fire questions is top 3 things that ALG means to you.
Love, inspiration, community.
Cool. I like it.
Okay.
Those are good. All right, Caleb, if you could go back in time and speak to your 11-year-old self, he has no idea what he's going to encounter in this life. You're allowed to talk to him. What are you going to tell him?
I already told you this on your gram like a year
I
ago.
know.
You probably don't remember.
No, I remember, but I want you to tell us here.
Discipline equals freedom.
Bang. Love that
Yeet.
one. And last but not least, Caleb, I want you to give the listeners at home 3 solid pieces of advice. Doesn't have to be about weight loss. It could be about anything.
That's not a rapid fire one, dude. Anything is possible. So write your goals down. That's the biggest thing. Write your goals down. Write what you want. Read it every single morning. Write it down. Another piece of advice would be to listen to books
Uh-huh.
and listen to motivational videos on YouTube and clear your mind. Just clear it and allow those books to come in and change the way you think about things in life. You'll grow tremendously, not just in weight loss, but just spiritually and mentally. 3, never quit. No matter what you do, just don't quit.
Yep.
You're going to have setbacks. You're going to get injured. There's so many things that can happen. Just don't quit, because if you quit, you just reverse back. And I've done it too many times in my life. It's never going to happen again for me. And I just want everybody, like my boy Nick, like, it's the last thing I want to see him do is quit. Like, I want to stand next to him for the rest of my existence. So like, just don't quit. So those are the 3 things.
Yeah.
I
mean, the don't quit one is really important. Like I said this week in the community call, I'd rather you tell me that you failed 1,000 times than you quit once. You know.
Nothing wrong with failure.
Nope.
You grow from that.
Nope. What's your son's name right there?
This is Jace.
Jace. Give me the top reason why your dad's the best role model in your life.
3.
Sure. Give me 3 right now.
Because he's really like taking this weight loss thing seriously, and he won't quit, And I don't know.
Do you love your dad, Jace?
Yeah.
Yeah, give him a hug for me.
Uh,
Little rascal.
And that's exactly how we're going to end this podcast off. So I want to thank everyone for taking the time out for listening today. Caleb, I appreciate you joining us today. Once again, where can we find you on Instagram?
Goal Crusher with a K. So GOALKRUSHER. And like I said, hit me up. I don't care. I don't charge money or anything. I'm here to support anyone. So if you want advice or just want to hear what I did off air, anytime.
Hell yeah. As always, I am JARPS_journey. He is fit_DRock. This is the Accountable Life Group. You guys have a great Friday. Stay sexy. Stay wonderful. David, give us some words to leave.
Toodles.